One reason why it can be so difficult to achieve our goals is when we make our goals outcome based and results based. For example, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. That's an outcome or a result. I'm going to be good at playing guitar, find a relationship, stop binge eating. I'm going to run a marathon. Outcome, result. Setting goals for ourselves like this seems to make really good sense. Gives us something concrete to aim for, right? What's the issue? It invariably sets us up to rely on willpower and force or discipline to make choices continuously that align with getting us to that particular outcome. Having an outcome or results-based goal often doesn't care whether the process to get to that outcome or goal is something that aligns with us on a kind of day-to-day basis. All of the choices that are going to get me to that particular outcome, like running a marathon, are those going to be choices that I want to take for myself? The here and now is the only thing that ever really exists, right? My goal for 10 years was to lose weight every new year. Never achieved it by setting that as a goal, not once. And it eroded the trust that I had in myself. And it made me feel like a failure. It made me feel weak. How can we achieve things without setting outcome or results-based goals? Well, if we let go of the idea that achievement is outcomes and results, and we bring in the concept that achievement is developing and nurturing values, skills, practices, knowledge, understanding. We can't fail. It comes with an inherent flexibility. We can't fail, so we'll be more resilient, we'll be less anxious, and most importantly, it allows us to achieve more typically because we're attached to the process of learning. Which means that even when we make a mistake or we can't quite do something, that's just another opportunity to learn. We can learn from the things that go well and the things that don't go well, and that compounds over time. When we inherently enjoy the process, we're far more likely, far more likely. In fact, it doesn't take any willpower at all to keep going with it. And so, of course, we can achieve more with that approach. Most runners, for example, that I know who are out running every day are not using loads of discipline and willpower and force to do that. They're doing it because they enjoy it. It's easy for them. To them, it would be hard not to do it. For myself, I get told quite often that I work a lot and how disciplined I must be to work so much. No, it's hard for me not to work because I enjoy my work so much. We don't enjoy or find fulfillment in the practices and the choices that align with having those outcomes and results, we're not going to be happy with the outcomes and results, because then we'd have to maintain it. You know, the process to get there and the process to maintain it is something that doesn't fulfill us. It doesn't lift us up. It doesn't align with us. And so it's an illusion, in my opinion, a lot of the time. Just because something makes someone else happy, or we've been told that a particular outcome or result is something that we must want, doesn't mean that that's actually true. One of my goals at a certain point in my life was to make 5 really close friends. And that had really weird and unintended consequences, because that outcome or result didn't care how I got there. And so it led to inauthenticity, people pleasing, controlling behaviors, anxiety, rumination, thinking about what do these people think about me, what do they want in a friendship, what do they want, etc., to try to control the situation to get to that particular outcome. And it left me very misaligned from myself. And it also meant that I didn't feel happy or content or like I was doing a good job until I made 5 good friends. But imagine this instead, this attitude and approach. I'd wonder, what is it in a friendship that I value? I value connection, fun, authenticity, emotional support, for example. Now, I can't control what anyone else does. I can only control myself. So that goal shifted to, I am doing a good job if I'm being authentic, if I am inviting people to do things. Doesn't matter whether they say yes or no. I'm doing a good job if I invite them to do things. I'm doing a good job if I showed up authentically. Doesn't matter whether they liked it or not. If I'm finding things that I find fun and I'm engaging with that and I'm inviting other people along, or I'm open to meeting people whilst I'm doing those fun things, I'm doing a good job if I'm doing that, regardless of what other people choose to do. And the consequence of that is, of course, I have made really good friends, but it wasn't the particular outcome that I was attached to. It was all of the practices and skills and the way that I was showing up that I was attached to. Detaching from outcomes and attaching to myself is one of the single most beneficial things I have ever done. It has brought me fulfillment. It has allowed me to achieve significantly more. It has eradicated my anxiety. It has allowed me to develop self-esteem and trust in myself. Going into 2025, if this is something which you want to give a go, then I invite you to have goals that center around what skills do you want to develop? What knowledge do you want to develop? What practices do you want to engage in? And leave the expectations of outcomes and timelines just over there. Detach from the outcomes and the results and just focus on the process, the skills and the understanding and the learning, and see where you get to. It's a complete 180 shift on attitude to life for a lot of people. If you want to do a deep dive on that and learn more about this as a concept, then I'm considering putting together a course, a series of videos on this topic, specifically looking at what does attaching to outcomes even mean? What are the negative consequences of that? What does attaching to ourselves mean? What are the positive implications of doing that? Why is it that we get so attached to outcomes? What is it that makes that feel like a really, really good idea? And how to do that transition, and what you can expect from making that transition, then let me know, and I will bump that up on the priority list of things that I create. Let me know in the comments, and if you're watching this in the future and this is something that has been made, then it will be linked down below for you. I will catch you in the next one.